You guys are seeing the behind the scenes here.
Nick Simmons and Evan Stanley. Evan's playing the guitar, and then they start harmonizing. And
who the hell are these people? They're all like loaded, rich. So something's brewing.
Stanley Simmons, Simmons Stanley.
All right, I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit.
Would we know who Nick and Evan are if Kiss had never existed?
Who's paying for their next Botox? Forgive me if you guys are offended with this, but it's unrealistic.
And so these three guys have a band now called Sons of Cream.
Would we feel okay if they assumed the next generation of Kiss?
Even though for us, this is Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, to them it's like, it's dad. The universe is slightly out of alignment.
I just went on a 20-minute diatribe, and you just summed it up in like
there
sentence.
I have a Hannah Montana guitar. Hey, if you're a fan of Kiss, you're probably also familiar with kind of the periphery of Kiss. Recently on Facebook, when I'm doing my kind of just checking things out, I'll be going through the little reels and things.
Yeah, news feeds, reels.
Well, what I do is I'll be at the gym, like on a bike, and I either watch a video or I'll just sit there and like, while I'm doing it, just kind of flip to the next thing and just, whatever while I'm doing my bike.
And the algorithm probably knows that you like music and stuff and entertainment, and I see cool stuff every so often.
So what's happened several times recently, and I actually didn't realize how new some of this stuff was, is I started seeing Nick Simmons and Evan Stanley, like it looked like in a house or in their kitchen or something, and Evan's playing the guitar, and then they start harmonizing, and to be honest, I mean, both these guys, of course, this is Gene and Paul's sons.
Sure, absolutely.
And they're both good-looking kids, and they're both
successful.
Yes, and they actually can both sing really well. And so I was kind of amazed. I mean, I knew, I'd heard both of them and I knew a little bit about them before, but I'd started seeing a couple of different things pop up on my Facebook feed that they're actually, they were doing some stuff together, and I didn't think much of it other than, oh, that's cool. They're playing some music. And then you came in here today and said,
hey, have you seen this?
Have I? And I thought, well, I knew that I'd seen some videos, but then you were like, no, there's a website out. And it looks like something's about, like they're doing something.
Yeah, I kind of seen like it's something like was like, is this really happening? And it had kind of a tagline that I'm like, oh, that caught my attention. Because I know Evans had a band called Amber Wild that you can find them on Spotify and listen to them. They're actually really pretty good. There was rumors and talk that band might open for the End of the Road tour.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
And it's just like, okay, that's... And, Nick's been doing his thing. We know him from the show, the Family Jewels show.
And he's
such a great character.
Hilarious.
He was awesome.
He was the most entertaining part of that show, for sure. And he's gone like 8 feet tall, too, by the way.
He's really tall. I want to say he's literally taller than Gene. And, his mom's tall as well.
Yes.
So, two tall parents, tall kid, that makes all the right sense, right? And so, then they did, so I looked them up, and they got something going on Spotify, not Spotify, I'm sorry, Instagram. And they had like 9 videos in there, and then I was showing you, and then it's like, whoa, check out, they got a link thing. So something's brewing, and whether it's real or not, or, I just thought, as we cover a lot of Kiss stuff on this channel, I wanted your take on it. Like, what do you think about them maybe collaborating? And then you're like, wait a minute, they got a website? So check out, they got some sort of logo already done.
So I've got it up on the screen right now. It's StanleySimmonsCo. And, one of the questions I ask myself immediately is, Stanley Simmons, Simmons Stanley? How did they decide who goes first in the thing? And then when you look at that logo, which S is which? Because you have these two S's that are woven together a little bit like a DNA strand.
It looks cool.
It is actually kind of a cool thing. I could imagine that on a shirt and whatever. Right. But anyway, there's not much to the site. I mean, you can put your number in there, but it's not like this. This doesn't really go anywhere. It just kind of reloads the same page. But they have links to their TikTok and Instagram accounts there, and then you can.
I mean, it's that's kind of what I thought is. What do you guys think? Like, and then you took it a step further. It's like, hey, what other bands?
And the reason, so what occurred to me when you said that, there's one in particular. Years ago, I was working in a studio. This goes back in the 90s. And I met this kid then, actually I think we're close to the same age, named Malcolm Bruce.
Okay.
And it was Jack Bruce's son. And so this was in Denver, Colorado, and it was a studio. Our producer owned this particular studio, and Malcolm Bruce was recording there all the time. And so I mean, I didn't become friends with him, but I talked to him a ton. We'd kind of overlap each other in the studio.
Sure.
I'd listen to his stuff, and he'd be in there with us, and he was just and like a hyper cool guy, like a really, really cool dude. And This is Jack Bruce's kid, bass player, singer, Cream. Well, anyway, I can't remember when it was, but I kind of follow him, and it was
Cream
a while
was
back.
like the first super group.
They were huge, and they were exactly. They were huge way back when. And so anyway, Malcolm,
and maybe first super group's kind of a stretch, but I mean, you had I mean, the history there is incredible, and they're great.
So Malcolm joined up with Kofi Baker, which is Ginger Baker's kid, because Ginger Baker, interestingly, lived out in Colorado.
Oh,
and so there was kind of this connection out there.
Right.
I mean, because Malcolm was out there, and anyway, so he hooked up with him, and apparently they've got the grandnephew of Ginger Baker, a kid named Rob Johnson, and so these three guys have a band now called Sons of Cream.
Oh, that's cool.
So anyway, when you said this, I started thinking, there's an interesting parallel there where you've got another thing where you've got the kids of a super, super famous band.
Sure.
That now have put together their thing. But in their case, they're actually really, really playing on the Cream theme.
Right. This is, I mean, these are the rabbit holes, and I want to share this with you guys, that in our pre-production meeting, we don't cover, we go down these whole rabbit holes of info, and it's like, wait a minute, and we just thought we're gonna remove the curtain and let you see what some of this dialogue. Yeah, because you were like, all right.
For those of us that love this classic media, I think most of us remember these things, audio and videotapes. And I recently realized that a lot of the viewers of this channel don't realize that behind this channel, there's a company called the Audiomover Digitizing Studio. And for 25 years, we've been digitizing old media like this for individuals and organizations across the United States and Canada. So if you have any old audio or videotapes you need preserved, we can help. And for anybody watching this video today, we're offering a 15% discount on any Audiomover digitizing service. Just use the discount code on the screen. So visit audiomover.com today to learn more and get an order started.
Nepotism and nepo babies is kind of like a hot topic, and as of last, you see it on the news, right? A bunch, like, oh, this kid's paved their way because their parents are loaded or rich or whatever, right? And we got Heinrich behind the board, right? I brought up, you guys know who Uma Thurman is, right? Famous actress, and Ethan Hawke, right? They have a daughter. Henry, what's her name? Maya Hawke, right? She's in Stranger Things, the movie.
Oh.
Actress. Makes sense. But she also does music. And she was touring, and my daughter was trying to get me to go take her over there. We didn't go, but it was like, and I think she ended up canceling some shows, right? J.J. Abrams, you recognize that name? Okay. He's got a daughter named Gracie Abrams, who's really hot right now. Hot, not in the sexy sense, but she's got a couple really good songs. She was on Saturday Night Live, right? Opening up.
I didn't know. Okay.
Nepotism's a real thing. I get it.
Well, it is. You're right, because getting back to the ones we just said a second ago,
right?
Would we know who Nick and Evan are if Kiss had never existed? Would we know Sons of Cream if Cream had never existed? Right. So there is a leg up.
And maybe I take, and this is where I was kind of getting a little derailed, it does help when you got a little push and your parents are famous.
And more power to you. You got that opportunity. It's like, take it, man. Great. Go. Yeah, for sure.
I don't have that. My parents, did not do that. So I sometimes feel like, oh my God, and I'm just like, good for you. Take advantage. If you're talented and you've worked at it, that's great. I don't know how you guys feel, but sometimes I think like you get those people, I know you like Julian Lennon, right?
I used to love that first album.
Right. Great.
So good.
I remember.
Saw him in concert and he was amazing.
I remember. You really kind of, that's one of the artists we talk about, artists that we push on each other a little bit. And, I didn't push enough King's X onto you.
True.
But, you really were a big fan of Julian. And I think he didn't take that easy road. He just kind of did his thing. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of artists that just do that part and don't really, almost shy away from the spotlight. But there's plenty of people out there that do that. And I think this Nick and Evan thing is kind of a cool thing because they're not. They could easily throw on Paul and Gene makeup, Star Child Demon, and just assume, and that's a question, and that's really where I was going with this. Would we feel okay if they assumed the next generation of Kiss?
What is it about that that for some reason the bloodline feels less awkward? Because when Led Zeppelin did the Celebration Day thing and they get Jason Bonham, for some reason it's not John, but it still feels like,
that makes sense.
Okay.
That's who should be doing it.
If there is somebody that should be in there,
Jason would be it, right?
He actually, and so you're so it felt for some reason just slightly more okayer.
Yeah, slightly more okayer. Right. No, I get it. You're paying tribute to one of the most legendary drummers ever in John. Yeah, it should be Jason, right? Behind the stool.
And he actually worked to become an exceptional drummer.
He is exceptional.
Too.
He had his own band. Yep. He's been playing with Sammy Hagar right now and Joe Satriani.
And even though he did get the head start, he actually delivered.
Right.
You want to know who else? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you who I think.
This is great dialogue. This is the kind of stuff you guys are seeing the behind the scenes here. Go.
Van Halen.
Yeah, Wolfgang
Van Halen. He is one of the people that I actually sincerely believe if he hadn't have been the son of Eddie Van Halen, there's a really good chance we would still know who he is. He's that, in my humble Audiomover opinion, he is that good.
Right? Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, they say.
He's hyper. He's a great singer. He plays all the instruments. He writes cool music. He's got a great presence. He's got the coolest personality.
Yeah, no, it's
just
great.
Everything about him, like this guy is just star. He just anyway. He's one of them.
Yeah, and he's not like, hey, I'm Wolfgang. Pave the road.
No, matter of fact, I think that he kind of like doesn't like that.
Right.
Don't talk to me. And you know what, Wolfgang, you come be on the show. I promise you, we won't even, other than saying your last name, which maybe we won't even say that just for the. I would never even talk about Van Halen. I don't care. I love your music so much. I dig what you're doing.
That's impressive.
I would be just. We would talk about your stuff. I would be all over it because he's such a cool dude, and he'd know just a lot of interesting things too. And he's got cool experiences, and he plays out live.
Right.
And
can you imagine,
dude, that'd be
just
so
growing up in Eddie's house with Valerie Bertinelli, obviously his mom, right, and just seeing like that would. I would love to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know.
That's true.
Obviously, your music and stuff, but that would be kind of a cool.
That would be interesting to learn
scenes,
about.
right? Because I don't know anything. Like, what was it like? We talk about seeing artists behind the scenes. Like, what was it eating breakfast with like your dad after he just spent the whole night at 5150 recording stuff or noodling?
See, this is getting too close into the Eddie Van Halen world.
Right.
I would honestly be like, let's talk about that video that you made.
All right.
That's what I want to know.
I just seen something and we were talking news feeds. I think he's got a new album coming out.
Okay, he's
got a new album from Wolfgang October 24th.
Ooh.
October 24th. Thank you, Henrik. He again, my point with that is he's one of those guys that is a standalone. He
Doesn't take the nepotism
He just
ride.
happens to be the son of Eddie Van Halen, but he is his own. He can play Eruption and all the other stuff, which isn't, because any good guitar player tries to learn that anyway.
Right.
So that's not that, pushy. But again, he is, come on the show. We will talk
Open invite.
only
your stuff.
That's all I want to know about.
Mammoth.
You're
only talking about Mammoth stuff.
It's that good that I'm interested in just that. He's such a cool dude. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that, but he's one of those guys.
Hey, that's what we're here. This is what we're talking about. This is what we do. We're talking about other famous kids that have done stuff. I brought up Wilson Phillips.
Oh yeah, that's another one. That was the thing that I was focusing on, is the ones where you had multiple people from
I don't know where
the group. And Wilson Phillips was Beach Boys.
Yes.
Like kids of Beach Boys got
kids
together.
Of Beach Boys got together.
Made music. And they had some hits, man.
I was trying to remember that song.
Take a change your way to go.
Right. That's the one I'm thinking. Oh, how's that song go?
Well, that's how it goes.
I know that's how it goes, but I'm thinking, take a chance.
That's a different, because now you get into ABBA territory.
No. It's
hold on for one more day.
Yeah, that's
Hold
it.
on.
It was in Bridesmaids.
That's it.
You know the song that they sing at the end of
Is that
Bridesmaids?
really? Is that right?
Yeah, they
I
make a
remember that.
cameo on
No,
it.
oh, that's right. I think I seem to remember that.
Yes. It's crazy. I know.
Okay, so that's another one
Famous
where it was kids, not just one kid, kids who got together. So we have
their own thing.
Stanley Simmons, we have Sons of Cream, we have Wilson Phillips. We didn't do any research, but those are the three we came up with.
Yeah, that's the three that we came up with.
Who? What?
I know there's plenty of.
I was just going to say, shout out Taylor Hawkins' kid, Shane Hawkins, who played the tribute concert for Foo Fighters. He looks like he's going to be probably
Doing his own thing.
And he's going to be great.
Nice. No, I mean, yeah, that was tragic, but I mean, you got, and that's the thing. You've got people out there now that do stuff because. All right, I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit simply because one of the things I really don't like is like people that really haven't done jack and they're on TV and being famous and they're just like, and my wife, anything that sees like New York or something I might be interested, she might throw something on. And I know some of you have maybe seen like the Housewives of New Jersey and Atlanta and Beverly, Salt Lake even and stuff. Anyway, my wife turns on the show on Bravo, thinking like, and I'm like doing something in the kitchen. I'm like listening to it. I'm like, who the hell are these people? They're all like loaded, rich. And it's like the sons of all these and the sons and daughters of all these rich housewives, kids, and their concept of like reality. Forgive me if you guys are offended with this, but it's unrealistic. It's so screwed up. One girl was talking about how she doesn't wash her hands because she's from like the Upper East Side. I'm like, that's effing gross. And one of the girls there was like, don't touch me. You just went to the bathroom. She's like, why don't you wash your hands? And she had like this whole diatribe of, to me, it's all clickbait type of crap. But I'm like, ew, And then some other, they're all, dude, that just makes me crazy because I'm like, people out there work hard, are talented, don't get a shot. And yet you guys are just these literal Nepo kids that, I'm going to stop because it does get my blood boiling because there's a lot of blue collar people out there that are talented, that work hard, and they should be on a show or do something. And
there's
instead we get fed this crap of just absolutely unrealistic. Like one kid doesn't even work and his like roommate calls him out on it. He's like, I don't know what he does. Like his dad bought him like $100,000 or $1 million of crypto and he just does whatever. Like what? Like it's just weird. It's just I don't get it. I can't relate. And that's just me.
No,
some people, I'm sure there's people tuning in. And I saw Teresa from Housewives in New Jersey. She was like I mean, all these moms are like cameoing on this show because they can't live out of the spotlight because who's paying for their next Botox? Because that's the thing, is they're becoming irrelevant.
I don't know about you, but I have a bag of old concert t-shirts from when I was a teenager and some I've picked up since. But since all of us are in kind of a different phase of our life right now, we thought it would be fun here at the studio to create our own line of t-shirts that were maybe a little more fitting for the stage of life that we're in right now. Like this one. Everything I know about English literature came from heavy metal. Or my personal favorite, my grandpa knows more about heavy metal than your grandpa. We're going to be adding a lot more in the coming months. So if you're interested in checking any of these out or just getting a little chuckle, visit the store tab on the Audiomover YouTube channel or visit audiomover.com.
That's just my opinion. Anyway, let's get back to music.
No, I'll tell you something.
Evan and Nick.
I understand what you're saying. Just to respond to that, there is something where it feels like the universe is slightly out of alignment when that, because getting back to Wolfgang Van Halen, he yes, he was born to Eddie Van Halen and probably could have just lived his entire life and never worked and never done anything.
Yeah.
But he worked and became actually really, really good at something and brought value to the world in the process.
Word.
Same thing with Malcolm Bruce, the one that I knew, but I mean, all the guys in that band, Kofi Baker, and they bring, yes, they're the sons of and kids of famous people, but they're literally working at their craft. They're putting time in and they bring value
I brought
to
up,
the world.
Our demographic will know who Jamie Lee Curtis is, right? Jamie Lee Curtis could have done the same thing. Her dad was Tony Curtis. Her mom was a famous actress. Like, back in like the 60s, like royalty, and they have this kid, who's Jamie Lee, and we know her, right? Scream Queen, from just so many movies that she's been in, and she could have taken the easy route, but she didn't. And she's been in a lot of cool stuff that I like.
And she's great.
And she's a really cool person. I've seen a lot of interviews and stuff with her. And I never really put together that she's kind of a early nepo kid, which, hey, I'm okay. If your parents are loaded and they can pave the way for you and give you a little push.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
Good.
Open some doors for you.
Why not?
Good for you. Yeah. It's just like I said, if something feels just wrong when you're somebody that didn't do anything, and then you get and then something feels just out of place.
I was telling Bono from U2 has a son. He's got a band, and the name escapes me. You guys might know. And Darren actually turned me on to them. They're like really good. Sounds really good, like a younger Bono. And I'm like, I wouldn't have known that. It's not like, U2 went and paved the way for, hey, let me just write a couple checks and get you like a record deal. I don't think they do that. And I think that's kind of in the Wolfgang vein. But you see some of these kids that, sure, Julian Lennon, like we mentioned before. I mean, these are some of the people that I think, hey, they come from just because your parents are famous, hey, doesn't mean you get a free ticket. But I appreciate like Wolfgang.
But
and these people that work at it.
Opens doors.
Right?
It gives you more opopportunities than other people have, which is great. I mean, and it's nice when take advantage of it. Having a dad of two daughters, I got to see Hannah Montana, aka Disney, Miley Cyrus. Yes.
Right? Billy Ray. Right? And Billy Ray, he's got a couple kids and and she's carved out her own career. Yes. Maybe she got the door open because she auditioned and became
bigger than he ever was.
Hannah Montana. Oh yeah.
Like many times
over. And
and she's talented.
And she's very talented. She's got a cool voice. She's been on stage with Aerosmith and we mentioned Stevie Nicks. And so she is really, really good. Can you say I think she's more in the Wolfgang vein? But let's go full circle.
I have a Hannah Montana guitar. Upstairs somewhere. I really do. I'm going to get it out sometime.
Yeah, no.
By the way,
I'll almost buy that from you. I was looking for one because I'm like, I'm a fan. And like, I remember one time and this is completely crazy, but I remember one time, like, my daughter was with her mom, and she called me up, and I was home just kind of chilling out, and I was like, turned on the TV, and I had something playing, and my daughter calls me up, and she's like, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm just hanging out watching TV. She's like, missing you. What are you watching? And I was like, oh, I'm watching, hate to admit it, I'm watching Hannah Montana. She's like, are you kidding? She's laughing at me. And I'm like, it was good. But, actually, and I have to admit, I've turned it on sometimes, and it's kooky and very campy, but it's funny and it's good. And Billy Ray, I got to admit, always looked good. I mean, granted, he didn't have the mullet, got rid of that, but he makes fun of it in a couple different things. But yeah, I hate, if that's not I'm not trying to brag or say like I'm cool because I watch Hannah Montana and Disney Plus. I don't mean to brag. I have a plethora of crazy Disney knowledge simply because the way my kids are staggered. But yeah, I feel good. Let's go back full circle. I know this is where we're going with this. Nick, Evan, do you think they do their own thing? Or how would you feel? Those are my two questions to everybody. Is if they do their own thing, are you interested? And B, question part two, or is if they don the Kiss makeup and were kind of fronting the Kiss band, Next Generation, what'd you think about that?
It's an interesting question.
And we don't need to answer, but I want to know what you guys think. Because I think part of it is an easy road, right? But do I want to be playing songs that my parents made 50 years ago? Maybe.
Yeah, because
first of all, I would kind of kill to be in like that.
I was going to say, even though for us, this is Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, to them, it's like, it's dad.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with that.
I don't want to do dad, whatever.
Do I want to play dad's music?
Exactly. I something.
Strutter, 76 or 2020. We're doing Strutter 2025, right?
You know what? I would love nothing more than for those two guys to write awesome music and make a great music and tour and be amazing. That would be
if they had their own career.
My heart would be
their own career.
Good.
So, okay, if Simmons Stanley band, the Simmons Stanley band goes out.
Wouldn't that be great?
I'd go see them.
If they made good music, they're already good singers. They got that stuff down.
They've proven that. They're good.
You write some good tunes. Go out there and put a cool little presentation together.
And let's be.
I would root for them to succeed.
Absolutely, I would too. Simply because they're doing their own thing. I don't expect them to be selling out stadiums or anything. Not in this era. Just a different thing. But they could be very, very good. And and as I think rock music as a whole nowadays. I think you have Ghost and some other bands out there doing some cool stuff, but rock needs a good shot in the arm with some good songwriting, and I could see these two guys possibly taking that mantle. That'd be good. I don't know. This is the behind-the-scenes dialogue that we kind of share. Anyway, not to bore you guys with that, but I shared a lot of personal information and opinions. Hopefully you guys found that entertaining. That's just how I roll and think.
Yeah, but this is what actually, when you look at the genesis of why this channel exists, is that you rewind that 30 plus years ago.
Yeah, and this is what we
would sit in the dorm room, which I know probably thousands and thousands of people that follow this channel did because I know, because people comment like, dude, this is like me being back in my dorm room, because this is what we would do.
But now we're talking about their kids. How crazy is that?
Which is so funny to think about. It's not the... Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, hey, so we'd love to get your feedback
2025.
On that. Evan Stanley, StanleySimmonsCo is, at least right now, looks like some sort of a placeholder website.
See what's,
don't know what's happening.
Stay tuned.
Oh, and by the way, I looked up something just to know. This was registered. The registered date on this website or the domain is March 10th, 2025.
Ooh,
so this website was just registered like really, really recently. So maybe there's something in the works. Yeah.
You've heard it here first. Audiomover News.
Indeed. Yep. Hey, so we want to get your feedback on this. That's kind of the point of this discussion right now. So please leave your feedback, your thoughts, and also, do you know who are some of those things? The bands. That's a great question. Who are the kids of performers, especially musicians, that probably didn't need their parents? That's a really
question.
Interesting thing. Who are so good?
This is like role reversal. I just went on a 20-minute diatribe, and you just summed it up in like a sentence.
Go. Who didn't need their parents because they're that good?
We got Henry laughing.
Down in the comments. We'd love to hear that stuff. Also, please follow the channel. We also want to thank, back here, you see our DigiTech posters. We like to thank DigiTech for sending these to us. We've got a little partnership going with them right now.
Yes.
And just anyway, go to
check out
DigiTech stuff. Go to their site. There's some. They always have. I've owned DigiTech stuff over the years, and I've got stories. Anyway, I love DigiTech.
They're a Utah company,
and they're a Utah company. That's why we're talking about them.
That's why, and we love their support. So check them out.
Also, audiomover.com. There's Audiomover merch there. There's also some down below the video. We've got all kinds. We've got T-shirts with the logo and other cool, interesting T-shirts that are our exclusive Audiomover designs.
Whoa.
So you got to go check those out too. Please like the video and share the video and follow the channel. And with that, have yourself a fantastic day.